Hello. It is Tuesday, 2 for Tuesday, except I'm going to give you 3 for Tuesday. 3 easy steps to releasing shame from your past relationships. Ladies and gents, shame is such a huge factor in blocking you from moving forward in life, from you having all of your wants, needs, and desires out of life in general, but like your relationships and just really living your life. It's shame. So I want to talk to you about shame today. I want to tell you what it is, where it comes from, where you feel it in your body, and how you can release it in 3 easy steps. Okay, so if you don't know me, my name is Denise Dominguez. I am a woman's empowerment coach, and what I do is help women heal from toxic relationships. So abusive relationships, bad divorces, narcissistic abuse, narcissistic relationships. I do tend to talk a lot about romantic relationships. However, I help women heal from relationships with toxic parents, even toxic bosses, co-workers, anybody who's in your life that's had a negative effect on you, okay, in the relationship world. Okay, so this just came to me. Talk about shame, Denise, talk about shame, because this is what I teach my clients. There's this map of consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins, and it's in his book called Power versus Force. And this map of consciousness that he created, he calibrated all of our emotions, right? And so the whole point of this map of consciousness is to show us where we're at and where we need to be. And so what we need to do is climb from the bottom, where guilt and shame live, and climb up into love and above. Okay, so he calibrates the numbers. So shame is calibrated at a 20 or a 30, I think a 30. And then the highest level of consciousness is up there in the 700 plus, right? That's enlightenment. And very few people get there. However, I don't think it's impossible for you to get there. So let's start with shame. What is shame? Because a lot of people misconstrued shame and guilt. They are similar, but I wanted to give you like the real definition of, thank you, Mari, the real definition of shame. Okay, so shame is a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. Okay, which that's the Google definition. But what I learned and what I know about shame is I feel like a piece of crap. I feel like a piece of crap because, you know, that's just, I'm not enough. This is the way I feel about myself. Now, guilt is more of the behavior. Guilt is, I feel like crap because I did X, Y, and Z, or because I didn't do X, Y, and Z. So I feel guilty. Okay, so guilt is more of the behavioral part of the emotion, where shame is the more internal. I feel like, you know, nobody loves me, I'm not enough, because that's what's been shown to you your entire life. So you feel that shame that you are, you know, not good enough. You feel like you're a piece of crap. I use piece of crap because that's what people say. But okay, so that's what shame is, okay? It's the feeling. It's like I'm humiliated of who I am. I'm ashamed to share myself with the world. I'm ashamed of, you know, for example, let me give you an example. Like divorce, there's a lot of shame around divorce. There's a lot of shame around abusive relationships. There's a lot of shame around it. There's a lot of shame. I had a lot of shame because I felt like a piece of crap because I didn't graduate high school. This is gone back many, many years ago, but I felt like a piece of crap because I didn't graduate high school. I felt like a loser. I was pregnant at 16, so that's why part of the reason why I quit school. I hated school, especially high school. Oh my God, fake, so fake. And then when I was going through my divorce, there was some shame and guilt there as well. I feel ashamed to talk about, right, the past. A lot of people feel ashamed to talk about their past because, and especially when we proclaim that our life is so amazing on social media. I see this all the time. Listen, I am so not judging you because I did it too. I'm just calling you out on your stuff so you can see, right? I wish somebody would have done this for me. You proclaim to the world that you have this life that you're showing the world, right? So all of the fun pictures of you at the party and all of the pictures of you and the family and the kids and Halloween and everything is so like hunky-dory, but behind closed doors, it's a hot mess. Your life is a hot mess. Your relationship is a hot mess. Your relationships are so disempowering. So there's some shame there as well. I don't want to talk about what's going on because I keep showing the world how wonderful my life is, and i.e. it is not. Okay, so let's move on to where do you feel shame? So you've been seeing me talk more and more about your body and listening to your body and how we manifest the dis-ease in our body through our thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Okay, if you've been through a series of disempowering relationships, toxic, abusive relationships, it is very, very common for a dis-ease to manifest inside of the body, i.e. breast cancer, autoimmune diseases. I talk about how I used to have chronic headaches, anxiety and depression, stomach issues, and guess what? I don't have anymore. So, but it's very, very common because of your thoughts and your emotions and your feelings, right? So you're holding shame inside of your body. And it's very, very possible that is the reason why it's manifesting into a dis-ease, okay? So ask yourself, where do I feel? Where is this shame in my body? And boom, it will come up. Your body will let you know, okay? A lot of the time when I was asked these questions, like, where do I feel it on my body? It was my chest, which is my heart chakra, and my throat chakra, which is, right, the disempowering. I don't want to share. I don't want to use my voice because I'm scared. So blocked. And my heart, because my heart was broken. So where is it in you? Ask yourself that question. Where am I feeling this disempowerment, this shame, whatever you want to call it, pain? Where do I feel that in my body? And even if you just ask your body will tell you. Okay, so let's get to how can you start releasing the very heavy burden of shame you've been carrying for so long. How do you release that? So there's 3 steps to this, and you will hear this. I'm not making this up. I didn't pull it out of my hat. This is not something I invented. This comes from all of our great masters for 2,000 plus years of the same 3 answers. It's the same 3. Any person in personal growth and personal development will tell you the same exact things, the 3 things. So when we're talking about shame, I feel like it goes in this order. It's the same 3 and it can go in any order, but for me and for this topic, this is the order that it goes in. How can you start releasing the heavy burden of shame you've been carrying for so long? Number 1, share your truth. You've got to let it out. You've got to share this with somebody that you trust, somebody that you feel comfortable with. I'm not saying put it on social media and ask for prayers and all of that. This is very private. This is something that when you share it, it needs to be with somebody that you fully trust and you feel comfortable with, okay? But I'm telling you, just by you talking about it, you have released a little bit of that emotional poison inside of you, just by that one conversation. Or if it makes you feel any better, you can release it by writing, okay? But you have to share your truth. That's number one. You have to share your truth of what you're holding. Okay, number two, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself and others for the injustice and injustices that were put upon you, okay? So everybody's going to say forgiveness. Forgiveness is the key to healing. Forgiveness is the key to healing. It really, truly is. Because here's the opposite of forgiveness, is when we hold on to that grudge that I was abused, my heart was broken, or whatever it is. When we hold on to that, we literally, energetically hold on to that, and it's like a heavy, crunching, negative, which manifests itself. You don't want that. So in order for you to release that and let it out, again, releasing the emotional poison, you have to forgive. Forgive yourself and forgive others. Whichever one feels easier for you to do, that's what you do. Okay? For me, was it easier for me to forgive myself or others? Probably myself first and then others. Whatever's good for you, do it. Number three, love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself completely, like all of you. The whole shawana shebang bang, the whole deal. The past, the mistakes, the curves, the whatever. You have to love all of you. You have to love yourself. And you have to love your story, your past stories. So that might even be more challenging for you to love yourself. And I'm going to give you a quick tip on self-love. So it may be very challenging for you to love your past because you're sitting here going, wait a minute, Denise, are you telling me that I have to love the shit that was done to me? I have to love the crap, like all of the crap? Yeah, you do. Listen, I can sit here and share with you all of the crap that I went through in my 22 years of being in a narcissistic relationship. I can tell you every single thing that was done to me, to my children that I witnessed, all the lies, all the cheating, all the trauma and the drama, and the psych wards and the hospitals and the ambulances, and I can go on and on and on and on. It's in the book, by the way. But what good does that do? What good does that do me? What good does that do you? What good does that do for my children? What good does that do? It doesn't do anything but keep me in that shitty story. So instead, I chose to start to peel away the layers of my story and start to see the gifts in my garbage and start to learn from my past and my ex and start to love it. So now I love my story. Obviously, I wrote a book about it. I talk about it. I share this. I love my story because I know without a shadow of a doubt that that was so meant to happen for me to teach me how to become the woman that I am now and the person that I am now and share this with the world. So I am in a place where I love my past. I love the most horrible, like the things that I wouldn't have been able to share with you, like not even half of a sentence without going into the ugly cry. I love that story now. So you have to do that for yourself as well. This is the only way for you to release the shame, the heavy burden that you've been carrying all these years. This is the only way. There's no shortcuts. There's no skip over this and jump over that. This is how you have to do it. Number 1, share your truth. Number 2, forgive yourself and others. And number 3, love yourself and love your past stories, your disempowering stories, the shittiest shit that happened to you. You gotta love it, okay? So those are your 3. If you need guidance with this, if you need help with this, you know I'm always here for you. You can message me. I'll put the link in the comments below for us to connect. Remember, when you share these things, you want to be able to trust this person that you share this with. So if you feel comfortable with me and you feel like that is a good connection, then absolutely, I encourage you to do that. I invite you to do that. If you're not sure and that's not, you don't know me, you don't feel comfortable, then I encourage you to find somebody who you do feel comfortable with and share it with that person, okay? Somebody that you know would give you positive feedback or at least comfort you versus maybe, people have all kinds of reactions. So just be careful who you share your truth with. It's very sacred. Your story is very sacred. It's very powerful, and it deserves to fall on welcoming ears, okay? And you deserve to share this with somebody who's going to love you and understand. Okay, so that's what I have for today. If you didn't hear about my Understanding Narcissism webinar, it is Thursday at 7 p.m. If you'd like the details of that as well, I will share it with you in the comments. It's Thursday at 7 Eastern Standard Time, Understanding Narcissism. I am going to fill all of the gaps in for you about narcissism. Some bells are going to go off, and it's going to be a great webinar. And of course, as always, I love you, and I'll see you later.